Alright, so let's go over Cold Sorceress. I'm running a 200 FCR Frozen Orb Sorceress. Most of this can apply to Frost Nova as well. You do need a little bit more gear to get Frost Nova to work perfectly. But Frozen Orb backs out the synergies, Frost Nova, Ice Bolt, dump into Teleport, 1 point into Warmth. It's pretty simple. Oh, and Max Cold Mastery too. Frost Nova, you do the same thing, except it's Ice Bolt and Shiver armor. Exact same build, essentially. We're going to start in a weird place and go over the Mercenary first. I'm actually using an Insight on an Act 2, just waiting. I think the end result is I need to get a Zenith and actually pull out. If I'm a pure mapper, you're going to hurt yourself doing Ubers and declone like that. But that way I can get the runes out and get the FCR off my circlet. Or the res off my circlet if I had a Zenith. But you can run just about any Mercenary with this. I mean, Act 4 Light is going to heal you up if you're lacking life after kill, which is good. Same thing with the Prayer in Act 3. Act 2 will give you PDR, and you can use Infinity if you want the extra damage. Infinity will not break a lot of the cold immunes. It'll break, 122 immunes, and most of them are like 140, 150, so it's just worth it to skip them. If you are using a cheap Insight like I am, though, your Mercenary will not really have enough damage to consistently kill the cold immune, so you do have to skip some of the bosses. And Act 1 even works too with the Meditation Aura on that one. My Merc is freaking out. I put Meditation and actually the Vigor Rune Word, whatever that is, on an Act 1 Merc. I don't even have it here. What do I do with it? Either way, you can get Vigor and Meditation on the Act 1 Mercs and go from there. Everything sort of works with them. It's just a matter of filling in what you need, right? And I think what I'm going to end up needing is I need mana after kill. I actually just replaced my Silkweave, which was my only mana after kill, but hey, I got the Insight, so I wanted a life after kill. Gear. Fathom is probably going to be your best bet with a shield. It just really can't be beat. The FCR and the cold skill damage is too important. I did test out the Doom Staff, which can also go on the Act 4 Mercs, which is why I still have it around. Freezing things that are cold immune is pretty important, especially if you're going to run the Frost Nova version of this. So, you can put that on a Merc, but I don't recommend using that. It's just the Fathom is too good. I'm using Medusa's Gaze. You can go with a Tybex because it has 40 FCR on it, especially if you're trying to reach that 200 breakpoint. Now, a +1 Tybex with some sockets is going to cost you an arm and a leg. I got this for 2 high runes. Oh, wait, hang on. This one for 2 high runes. 2 socket, cannot be frozen with some decent cold facets in there. So this is sort of a cheaper version. Obviously, my Fathom only has 2 sockets as well. Found that circlet. Well, actually, before I go over here, we'll show the gear. Caster, Ami, Atma's, 2 sockets, Castrate, Corrupt. I'm going to try the Merman's with Life After Kill. 120 FCR ring, 1 FCR ring with Life After Kill, a rack, and Castrate Frosties. Cold skills across the board. Lifers are fairly important, especially if you're going to run the Frost Nova build. That's why I switched off of it, because I was just dying constantly when I had the regular cold skillers on. But I mean, even with level 43 Frozen Orb, I mean, I could get maybe 5 skills out of this if I dropped down to the 105 breakpoint. And even if you want to do that, you might want to go to the 155 breakpoint, so when you're decrepified, I think it's -50 on the FCR for decrepify. It might be -20, but you might want to get the FCR up there anyway, since it's so easy to do. To get to 200, though, you are going to need to find some FCR corrupt somewhere. I mean, you can do math here. You can figure out how to get this. Like, ideally, I want to get to a Nightwings and switch the Frosties off for the 30 FCR or Trangules. I would get the negative cold res back through the Nightwings, but again, I'd lose the res, the faster hit recovery. I really need to get a Zenith before I do that. But 200 FCR, as you can see, though, 19. This is one of the, I always say, even say I went budget on my facets, I will always buy a 5-4 facet for a Gull over a 5-5 for a Burr. I can never justify spending that much high runes on 1%. But where you can justify spending high runes is making sure you got a 20 FCR circlet, a 20 FCR rack. Because if you can, if even the best players, I check their gear, they don't have 40 FCR Medusas. But with that Tybex, well, that opens up a slot for like a ring or something, right? A skill ring, if you can find FCR in a skill ring, if you got 10 high runes, go for it. But the point is, if the more perfect your FCR gear is, the easier it's going to be to hit that 200 right on the nose. See, I'm missing 8, 1, 1, 6. So that is a missing gear slot. Also, facets, not as important as you would think. Pierce, you already have some built-in Pierce, but I'll show you. Yeah, I'm losing 3% pierce, but 4%, 9%, right? 9%, 4%. Only 50 damage. A plain one, yeah. It's not that much, and you have built-in pierce anyway, so more important to get plus skills, I would think. And cold skill damage is why I want to try and get to the Night Wings eventually and switch some gear around here. So that's the build, that's the gear. In terms of playstyle, if you're going to run 200 FCR Frost Nova, it's just jump on things and kill it. The only problem is it is not very good with damaging on bosses. If you see some of the top players on the ladder, they are playing Frost Nova, their gear is insane. And if you're going to level as Frost Nova, which you're probably going to do even if you're going to Orb because it's a synergy, Normal is a bit of a slog, it's kind of annoying, you don't have the mana to get through it. Nightmare is a breeze, Hell becomes a little bit harder, and then in the beginning of maps, you're just dying constantly if you don't have the level, because you're going to get hit a lot. If you're running Frost Nova, your Shiver armor will be better, so you won't be getting hit so much once you hit 90, but I'll tell you, getting through the 80s on Frost Nova was not enjoyable. I would just go Frost Orb, and then switch into Frost Nova at 90. And when you see me do this map, I sort of play it like Frost Nova. I jump right on things and start spraying constantly. Why I wanted to build this was I'm thinking about next season, because I don't think D4 is going to be any good. I wanted finally something that could actually farm everything in the game, and what I'll do is I'll show you me running essentially everything, and my suggested rotation path, I guess, for this, or what I do at least. And what we're going to do is one of each key boss, all 4 of the bosses, except Duriel, obviously, and run a map. And what you should be able to do is get that done in about 15 minutes. Tier 3s might go up to 20 and slow down a bit. It does start to struggle with like around plus 30% life, but that is because I am running the 200 FCR style. You can obviously pump your damage a lot higher if you go for the 105 breakpoint, because then you can start getting plus skills on everything instead of FCR. So that is skills, gear, where to farm, and I'll jump into what I'm farming. What you doing, little one?
Not even death can save you from me.
At least he's doing something. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, there you go. There is all the bosses killed, at least one of the important ones. Map done. And the key bosses. And really what I do is, I am moving so quick, you have teleport, just give yourself a quick teleport back through to pick up any gear you may have missed. Doesn't take that long. So some idiot you popped on the side, dropped a rune you missed or something. But once the map's cleared, you can just kind of run through, so. Thank you, gate filters, I love the map. Ooh, circle, I missed a circle. Charms. And almost 15 minutes on the dot. There we go. So it wasn't a juicy map or anything. Obviously it'll slow down a little bit, but I had some problems finding Izzy. I had some problems killing the Bale minions a little bit there. I mean, I've gotten this down to a 10-minute run before, easy. That is an okay. Now it's 3. What was the ring? Athens, Minald, of course. All right. Either way, got a box out of that. Thank you, game. That is Cold Sorc. See you guys later.